Hey guys. So, might be getting a little sick, but I'm fine. Well, I got Leo and I got Donnie. Donnie's awesome. Leo I have some problems with, but it's probably just my Leo. I'm pretty sure not all the Leos have this problem. And I'll get into it in a second. I'm going to show you all four of them first and their poses I put them in. Okay, so I don't want Leo's sword to fall off. Hold him by his leg instead of his head. There's Leo. Got him in a standard standing position, both arms to the side, and the weapon as securely held in the back as I could possibly get it. I wish there was an actual sheath. I know he doesn't have a sheath in the show, but I wish there was an actual sheath. That would make this thing so much easier. And I'll explain why in a second. But here we go. Default standing position. I have. Okay, stand up, Leo, please. Okay. It might be the table itself, but these guys are kind of hard to stand up sometimes. And then here we have Donatello. And you can tell what the problem is with him immediately. He doesn't really have a real place to store his tech staff. I just kind of had a makeshift thing to put there. Here's him in his standard default standing thing that I put him in. And like I said, the weapon doesn't have an actual place to put it, so I make did with what I had and I put it back there like that. I think that works. Sit you down, don't fall over. Raphael. How would you? Raphael. Already did a review of him. Go watch it. Pretty good. And you, Michelangelo. Again, already did a review of him. Go watch it. Same video as Raph. Alright. Alright, so last time I started with Mikey and then went to Raph. So I'm going to start with Donnie. Now, Donnie. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, might as well just take that out for a second. Okay, so here's Donnie. All his accessories. Where should I start? Where did I start with Mikey? I don't remember. I'm just going to start off with the accessories. All Donnie's accessories are his regular bow. Or, not regular. This is a tech bow. But here's the first problem. This is a problem someone else had with. Yeah, I don't know why this is a thing that's a problem, but how did they mess this up? Some people had this problem with Leo's sword, from what I've seen. You see how the staff is slightly bent? That was like that right out of the box. I tried to bend it and straighten it out, but oh god, it keeps like naturally bending back. People fix Leo's sword by just putting it in like a book and closing it, but I don't really have a strong book around here. There's a book right there, but I'm not sure if it's strong enough to really, I might try it. And I see how it would work with Leo's sword. Leo's sword's flat. This is round, so I don't know how well the book would work for this, but that's a little problem. It's a little problem with these figures. I was praising the good things about them with Leo. In my last video with Mike and Raph, I was praising the good things about them. But they have their problems as well, like this. Understand if you've had them for a few years, but right out of the box, how the hell does this happen? Oh well, that's fine. He comes with his regular staff, tech staff, I mean, and then a mystical version of it, which in the show his weapon's not mystical. He stole a crystal in the first episode, and people thought he was going to use that to turn his staff mystical, but no, he used it to turn his goggles mystical. Yeah. So here's I guess in the alternate timeline of the action figures, he made his staff mystical. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's flaming purple, and comes with 2 ninja stars, of course. And finally, this last little bit here on the back of his, battle shell, this little hover bit, the show shell can fly. That comes separately, and you gotta attach it. And I attached it, but I don't think it's meant to come back off. I wanted to show it, take it off and show it like I would the others, but I don't think it's able to come off. Unless I'm not pulling hard enough, but I'm scared I'm going to break it, so I'm not going to attempt it. And here's something I actually didn't expect. You can take the battle shell off, and it reveals that carapace. And in the show, I'm pretty sure he's a smooth soft shell, but this is clearly a spiny soft shell. Which, surprisingly, I have not seen one of them. I've only seen smooth soft shells. I don't know if this confirms that he is a spiny soft shell. We see his carapace in the show, and it doesn't look spiny. I'm not quite sure. Maybe the toy is a spiny, and the actual show is a smooth. It's like the whole is Raph an alligator snapper or a snapper debate. And Mikey could be any species of box turtle, but I was assuming Eastern. The only one we know for sure is Leo. He's a definite red-eared slider. There's nothing else he could be. But yeah, look at that carapace. And Mike, his butt's showing. Raph, his butt is perfectly hidden. Donnie's is pretty hidden, but the different thing with his butt is, I don't know if the camera quality can pick that up, but unlike the other two, his butt actually looks kind of like a butt. It looks like it has a crack in it, I don't know. That may have been unintentional from the toy makers, but that just looks wrong. Alright, so now to talk about the points of articulation. I think that's where I started last time. He has head articulation, and his head articulation is the best out of the four. I didn't have any trouble with it. And look, I'm spinning it around perfect. Not exactly, but at least it's not getting stuck or stiff. Move up and down and whatnot, left, and do all that. He's got the shoulder points of articulation that can spin around and go up and down, forward, back. Same thing with the elbow. It can swivel. Oh, it's kind of a little bit stiff, but it's fine. Spinning it around is a little stiff, and then doing this is kind of loose. That's weird. And his wrist has articulation right on the wrist. I didn't mention this last time, but I'll mention it right now. So Mikey's point of articulation is not exactly on the wrist. It's like a little bit here for some reason. And I also noticed that only half of his wrist pad is painted. It's like one half is orange, one half is green. I thought it was weird that it was smaller than how it is in the show. Then I noticed, oh wait, they just didn't fully paint it. That's another point they missed. But oh well. Here on Donnie, I need to finish the articulation points. Got the leg swivel, the knee bend swivel, and the foot bend and swivel. And that's it. And I'll put his battle shell back on in a second. Another point of lazy paint articulation is paint job is what I mean. Lazy paint job is his gloves. They didn't paint them purple. They left them green. Top of his goggles are supposed to be blue and red. They're just gray. Also, no eyebrows, which I kind of like because seems like that's how it should be. But in the show, he clearly has the eyebrows. Also, for the accuracy from the show to the figure, I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not purple. That's a dark purple. It looks almost black. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have like black tape on each arm. I'm pretty sure it's just a glove. It's a glove that goes over his hand and down to here. It's not black tape. What is that? Also, the elbow pads and knee pads aren't the same as in the show, just like on Raph's elbow pads. It's slightly different, but I guess they couldn't really figure out how to make that into the action figure form. I don't know what this little bit here is. Right here. That's like a random piece of tape that's behind the pad. It's like that on both arms. It's weird. He has this thing, which I could have swore before the show came out, they said that this thing would talk and it would be like a sidekick to him, but in the show we haven't seen that happen yet. But underneath that, there's no, I guess the tape is kind of like its straps, but doesn't that mean it should have one over here too? I don't know. This just seems to be on there. Their plastron colors aren't the same as in the show. It's a nitpick, but it's fine. And their skin tones aren't the same as in the show, but I don't think it was like that with 2012. I'm not sure how it was like in 2003 either. In 87, definitely. They all had the same skin tone there, but in the toys had different, with Donnie having brown skin being the most notorious. And this figure's in the show, the belt doesn't go all the way around. It stops at the front because it's like I guess it's like holding on the battle shell. I'm not sure, but in the show, his belt doesn't go all the way around. So when his shell comes off, I don't know how it stays on there. Maybe it's such a tight fit that it's stuck. I don't know. But here on this figure, it goes all the way around, and I like that better. There's a lot of things that I like on the figure better. Okay, so accuracies to the show, and his head is not as square or rectangle-ish. It actually seems more rounded, which I like that better. Makes more sense. No offense to the actual Donnie in the show, but I like that better. It's my personal preference. And oh, there's a weird thing with his socks. Right here. They don't go all the way around. Instead, it seems like they're strapped on. Or actually, I don't know if these are socks or not. I'm not sure what they are, but I've just been calling them socks. But here it seems like they strap onto them. It's weird. And yeah, this figure is pretty good. I give it a. I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but there's a few things. Oh, on Mikey, we clearly see there's no bridge, but on Raph and Donnie, there is a bridge, kinda, sorta. You see like a little part of what looks like it's supposed to be a bridge right there, but it's not painted. And then on Leo, what his bridge is has the little part up here, like I showed you on Don. It's also on Raph. It also has lines going through there, kind of like on the 1990s movie or 2007. But it's not painted, it's just green. So are they supposed to have bridges or not? I guess they realized they messed up on Mikey and forgot to sculpt him a bridge. So in order to cover that up, they just didn't paint the other three. Well, guess what, people? I noticed. Oh, Donnie has one of those lines too, vaguely. Can barely see it. Oh yeah, he's missing the square bits on him, which you might not believe me because there's nowhere anywhere that says this. But those little square bits, Leo has his stripes. Mikey has those spots, which are actually stickers, not his box turtle spots that you would see on a real box turtle. And Raph has the spiky shoulders. And people were like, Donnie's square things aren't really on soft shells. That's not real. And I'm like, they're computer chips. Donnie kind of turned himself into a kind of cyborg, not really. He has the chips in him to make himself faster and be able to calculate things better. He turned himself into a fleshy computer, pretty much. Made himself smarter. And yeah, but on the figure, he doesn't have those. That's a bit disappointing. Oh, if you're wondering what's under his mask, he has one big old computer chip under there. It's the master computer chip. If they ever do an episode where his mask is taken off and that chip's not there, it's because he took it off. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, you waking up? Okay, you waking up? Oh, I'm in the middle of a review. You want to give your commentary on the Donatello action figure? No. And now you're back to screen. What? No. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna try to quickly finish off the review here and not try to ramble as much. Okay, so now the Leo figure. You clearly see here. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Looks good. But then you look on the back. Trying to get this sword to stick on here was a bitch for one reason. Let me take it off. Hopefully I'll be able to put it back in. But you see that? That just like on Donnie's staff, this little bit of plastic got bent, and now it's stuck open wider than it's supposed to be, and the sword isn't fitting in right. Look how loose that. Yeah, I got it to stick in right before I started the video, and now I'm probably never going to get it to stick again. I don't know how this plastic got like this, but it did, and I'm not sure how you're supposed to bend this back. Just hold it for a while. We've got the patience for that. So yeah, that's a nitpick, but oh well. Guess I'll just constantly have it in his hand. That's what you want to pose them in. They're weapons, I guess. What kid wants to just pose them not having their weapons out, I guess. Oh shit! And I just dropped them. Sorry, Leo. Avenge me. Alright, so his eyes are weird to me on this figure, but oh well. His head shape's a little weird, but oh well. That's just how he looks in the show, I guess. Toy, going from a 2D show to a 3D figure, it's not going to look quite right. It's like when the 87s go to the 2012 world. Talk about his articulation. His head was, well, it still is a little stiff moving it. But after the first rotation, it's a little looser, but it's still kind of hard to rotate it. Donnie has the best head articulation of them all. He's got the shoulders, everything. He's got the elbows. Now, here's the weird thing with the wrist. His wrist, instead of bending at the wrist, actually bends up here at the end of his glove. Now that's weird, but that's a thing. So Mikey's is not here where the wrist is. It's here. Raph and Donnie are both here, while Leo's is all the way up here. That's bizarre. But I guess it's easier for them because they had to sculpt the gloves on there. They didn't want to cut like a slit in the middle of the sculpts. I guess that would. I don't know. I don't know how you make a toy. But yeah, that's where that is. And you also get the legs and whatnot and everything. It's pretty good. Articulation's all good, and the only thing that's really, really stiff is the head. Seems to be the problem with all these guys. Now, for the accuracies to the show. Gear-wise and whatnot. And body type-wise. I already said the skin tones doesn't match. He's got the red ears like in the show. I think in the show the red ears are actually a bit bigger than that, but oh well. I think his mask strands are also a bit longer, but oh well. The belt isn't like right on his pelvis. It's kind of drooping down a little bit. I imagine if he didn't have the shoulder strap, the belt would just fall down because he's wearing it so loose because he doesn't give a fuck. Pull your belt up, Leo. Jesus. You're trying to sag with a belt? You're trying to be hip with the kids? Pull your belt up. No, I'm joking. It's got the little pocket things on the side like in the show. It's got a pocket thing in the back, which I don't quite remember if he has that in the show. Probably need to rewatch an episode and freeze frame it. His gloves are not like in the show. In the show, they're gloves. They go from here to over his hand and just has his fingers showing. But on this figure, as you see here, they don't go over his whole hand. They cut off like right here and have his knuckles showing. And the palm of his hand is also showing. So they're not even really gloves. They're kind of more like forearm, or not forearm, this is your forearm. They're kind of like guards for just this area. Guessing they're gauntlets on this figure? I'm not sure. And then the sock things are not sock things like on Mike and Don. As you can clearly see, if my camera quality isn't too shitty, in the show it's sock things, but here it's like bandages. That's an inaccuracy. Oh well. And now for some lazy paint detailing. They didn't have the stripy arms, and the back details on his shell aren't painted either. And oh, there's supposed to be some bandages on his hands there. I didn't even notice that at first. There's supposed to be bandages on his hand, which is not like in the show, but it's here on the figure. but they're not painted. So why add a new detail that's not in the show if you're not even going to point it out? Oh well. And that was pretty much it. His sword didn't come out bent. It's just the sword holster came out bent for me. It's kind of sucks. Probably never going to get him to fit in there right again. No, let's do this. Oh well. Now let me show off his accessories. Like Mikey, he comes with a skateboard. Only he doesn't come with stickers for his skateboard. Unless you're supposed to use some of Mikey's stickers. That would make sense. This skateboard is translucent. He also comes with his magical version of the sword, the glowy version. But the glowy version is actually bigger, so I don't know. You can in the other sword you can only hold it with one hand, but this sword you can hold it with two, and the blade's longer. So for those of you, just like the whole Mikey situation I said in that video, if you don't like how this new show has him with only one weapon instead of two, this figure you can just have him hold the two different versions of his sword, and that kind of looks like he has two swords. Just that one's bigger than the other. But that's how it was like in 2012, so alright. Well, this sword is not very well. Come on. Yeah, that sword, you need both hands for it, because it's not sticking too well. Oh, there we go, I kind of got it. Yeah, Leo with his two swords. Oh, fuck, that fell out. Alright, I was gonna show you all of them with, two weapons, Mikey and Raph, and, well, Donnie only has one, but I could give him the second staff, even though that's not how he is. But this sword won't stay in well. Alright, so here's Leo just holding his... Hmm? You okay? You want to say hi to your audience? Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go over this. I give the Leo figure a... Ah, crap. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. The bent sword holster kind of lowered a bit of points for me, but oh well. And I give the Donnie a... I'm gonna give Donnie a 10 out of 10. That seems to be my favorite, except for the fact that he can't put his weapon on his back, right? But he's my 10 out of 10. Okay, so here's Leo with his normal sword. Oh no, hold it there. Here's Donnie with his staff. Okay, I'm gonna hold his tonfa. Get in there. Get in that hole. Here's Raph with his tonfa. And here's Mikey with his fundo. Now I would show you them holding their other shit, but I kind of just want to get this over with so I can get back to talking to her. Overall, all these figures together, yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. Actually, if you add up each individual points from each of them, it's a little more than 10, but yeah. Alright, so Raph has his tonfa, and then this weird fist thing, it's like the magic up version of his tonfa. Donnie comes with his staff and a magic version of the staff, which he doesn't have in the show, but oh well. And Leo comes with his sword and the magic version of the sword. Mikey doesn't come with a normal and magic-fied Kusari Fundo. So I'm gonna make do and pretend the boxing glove is the magic version. Yeah. Now I'm gonna show you all the magic-fied versions of their weapons. Not them holding them, because that take me like a minute. Here we go. Yeah. All in all, like I said, all of them together, they're pretty good. You can give them like more than a 10. On their own, they're still pretty good. A few minor nitpicks here and there, but they're pretty good. I like them. That's right. I'll see you guys next time. Push.